Oh, there you are, classy Lady Courtney.
Hey, Miss Elegant Emily. It's good to see you. Emily White.
Courtney Holland.
Yes.
Yes, and I would like to say welcome to That Wasn't the Plan.
That wasn't the plan, and welcome to you, my dear.
Welcome to you on this lovely Sunday morning.
Super Bowl! Who gives
Oh
a
my-
shit? Not me!
Not me. But here we are recording so that we can go be with the people that do care about the Super Bowl. We have an amazing guest today.
So stoked. So
Yes.
stoked.
I would like to introduce my friend. Her name is Sarah Beth Schooley Wood. And before we bring her on, I just want to give a little background on this amazing lady. She graduated 2008 from the University of North Carolina, Wilmington,
Hey,
in
girl.
double major communication studies and Spanish. She is highly intelligent. Not only that, but she was a champion swimmer on their swim team and a mentor for their
Wow.
swim team called the Seahawks, where
Wow.
she swam the 100 and 200 backstroke plus freestyle and relays. She was part of a historic 2006 CAA championship sweep. That was the
Dude.
first time both the UNCW men's and women's teams won
Holy
titles
crow.
together in the same season. And then after swimming, she moved out to Los Angeles like we all do. And she worked in film and television as a producer like we all do.
Oh, shit.
On some, and you may have heard of these shows, Ice Road Truckers and the Jesse James Outlaw Garage. And I think she was nominated. Listen to this. I think she was nominated for an Emmy for one of those before she got smart and turned into a paralegal.
Yeah, girl. This woman.
I know this
Ice
woman.
truckers to
Okay.
emails.
A couple more things. I know. So, and then in 2018, she married this amazing man named Kelsey, and they got married in Antarctica with the penguins as officiants.
I know. I was not
Uh-huh.
prepared for this.
Uh-huh.
I'm sweating. I'm intimidated and excited and so many questions.
I know.
Holy
So
crap.
after she was down Antarctica, after she was down there with the penguins and she saw them swimming around in that beautiful freezing cold water, she came back to Seattle and I was like, "Hey, Sarah Beth, do you want to go swim in Puget Sound with me?" And she was like,
Hell yeah.
"Abso-fucking-lutely." So now she swims year-round in ice cold Puget Sound with yours truly and a bunch of other weird people.
Well, and that's how I met her, because I got in the Puget Sound because you freaks were like, let's do this. And I was like,
That's right. I know. And then she's also been nominated for having one of the most charming laughs by all of her friends.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
I'm
So
interested to also vote for this laugh.
not only is she just a badass human and she's a really amazing friend, I am really blessed to call her my friend, but she has some pretty cool tattoos too. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Sarah Beth.
Holy shit!
The one and only.
Shit. Penguins! Paralegals! Jesse James! Ice truckers!
Yeah, feel free to take a minute.
I know.
Y'all-
I got teary-eyed just
I
talking
did
about
too.
my
I
friends.
was like, I'm gonna replay this every morning. It's just like my hype. Get up in the morning and be like, yeah, girl, you a bad
Unreal.
bitch.
You a bad bitch. Like, not just a bad bitch, you're like a bad bitch. And yeah, the laugh,
Thank
winning.
you.
Totally.
Thank you.
Isn't it amazing? Oh my God, I hear that laugh and it brightens my day.
I get it from my mama.
Oh my gosh. And listeners, if you're not looking at her, she's precious and she's the coolest freaking hair. She's got the hair that intimidates me when I meet people and I'm like, oh shit.
Uh-huh.
This girl looks radical.
Uh-huh.
The short hair. Oh my gosh. Sarah Beth.
Yeah. I feel like you
You
gotta
are something.
project what you don't always feel inside. So
For
I'm like,
sure.
I'm gonna have, badass hair energy.
You
and
really
hopefully
do.
that comes inside, top down.
It's just incredible.
I like to project like slightly, definitely emotionally unstable and also on the edge of, a bender, a sober bender. That's what I'm going for, especially with my bangs, because who even knows? That's something. So
Bangs
way to
are
go, Sarah
hard.
Beth.
Bangs are
Bangs
hard.
are really hard, and I keep doing it to myself. I can't stop. And then I'm like, they don't look good. I should go shorter. And I'm like, oh, Lord, help us.
That is
It's a
always the
wild
answer.
world. Yeah, it's always the answer with bangs.
With
They don't look
bangs,
good.
just
You
go.
should cut them yourself and do it in the bathroom with some scissors that aren't made to cut hair. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
Oh,
Follow us
Sarah
for
Beth.
more hair tips.
yeah. This is
Oh man, I'm
girl, you
crying
are
already.
too cool. You are too Okay, wait. Just okay. Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Were you close enough to a penguin to touch it?
Yes.
Did you touch one?
No. It took a lot of self-control.
I knew
To
you
not just,
would say
like,
no.
Scoop it up and put it in your jacket and be like,
Could you just touch it with your lips? Like, would that count?
it would count. They are covered in bright pink shit from
Ooh.
sliding around in their own poo-poo.
That's
And
right.
They stink.
They do stink. Okay,
They
that's it. That was
stink.
my second question. I
You
just wanted
can
to smell was.
You can smell it when you're on the boat. You haven't even seen the penguins yet, and you
can
just
smell
like land is
Oh.
near. I can smell it.
Penguin
wow.
shit.
You could smell the
Penguin
penguin poop, and the like rocks would just be pink, and that's like
Really?
that's just their
Is it
poo.
from like the fish and do they eat krill?
It's with their like krill and like shrimp
Okay.
and things like
I
that.
was
Yeah,
gonna
it's
say
their
the
diet
shrimps.
that
Yeah,
makes
the
them,
shrimps.
Yeah,
Okay. They're like
Yeah.
flamingos.
That sounds like
then.
art to
Yeah.
me. Like
I mean, yeah,
pink
they
feces.
yeah they get up after sliding down the rocks, and their like chest is just bright red. It looks like they've been in battle. Like they're
God.
bleeding.
I love that. Oh, the battle penguins. So were you with the penguins when you were married?
Yes. So we went to yeah, it was me and our officiant who was a marine biologist on the boat, and then a photographer who was literally the hottest person I've ever seen in real life.
Oh.
He's like this Australian like
Of course he is.
military guy.
Mm.
Oh god, he was gorgeous.
Did he know it?
and
Did he know he was gorgeous?
No, he was like
Oh,
so nice.
that's-
no.
That's
What's his
hot.
name?
I know, right?
Yeah.
He's married, but he was so kind. But I just have to praise him for the body. Anyway, so it was take a moment and appreciate.
I still would like to take a look. So what's his name?
yeah,
I know.
I'll send you his Instagram. Anyway, so it was us four. They took us on a little Zodiac to this little piece of land. The sun was going down, and then there were just like penguins, and a little penguin, we didn't know it at the time, but like just came up beside my husband and just stood beside him throughout the entire ceremony.
His best man.
And then he just like waddled away after.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Courtney, she was also in a wedding gown doing
Oh,
this.
yeah. Full
Yeah.
on. Yeah. wedding
Full gown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing I've ever done.
It's so freaking. I mean, I'm so grateful to hear you say that too, because if you were one of those people that's like, no, yeah, well,
No big deal.
yeah, that
No.
is
No,
because
I-
oh wow.
Yeah. And it's fitting. It's my husband and my wedding anniversary today. So 8 years
Today?
ago. 8 years ago today. We were down there doing it.
Doing it.
Doing it.
I forget this is a
Seasickness
PG.
and all.
Oh my gosh. Did you cry the whole
Doing it.
time? Were you emotional?
Actually, I didn't. No.
Yeah.
I was like it was like happening so fast. Like we didn't know. They were like, we can't promise that you're going to be able to get married down here. We're going to tell you like if we get a weather window and we have the opportunity, it'll be like kind of go. And so we were sitting down having dinner, and they were like, all right, so we have this thing. We have a spot. We can get you there. Let's go. And so it was like, put on the dress and
Hell yeah.
and go. And so it was like, it was just like, go, go, go. Yes,
Let me ask
Sarah.
you this. Were you more
Yes.
excited to just be in Antarctica or to get married?
Oh, okay. So I will say that I was super emotional because we got married the second to last day. We were there for 20 days, and we got married the
Holy
second to last
smokes.
day before we left. And
Oh.
it was like almost coming down to the wire. And so like the next day we did one final excursion on land, and I was just like bawling, crying. And I think because like
all those
we had
emotions.
just gotten married, and it was
It's
like
so much.
here, and it's like you're in this place that, you know, who knows if you'll ever see it again. It's just such a takes
And
so much to
so-
get down there. Yeah.
The night of your wedding, back on the boat, was that the first time you ever had sex?
Well, we actually didn't sleep on the boat that night. We slept on land, surrounded by seals.
I mean,
And we were not alone.
talk
We had,
about an
like,
audience.
I cannot handle this. We were definitely not alone. We had like couples were everywhere.
Yeah.
One big orgy.
Everybody's rolling
So
around.
with the
and they're
sound of the
hot.
seals, you guys just felt like you could,
Yeah,
just
it
go
was
for
muffled all the things. No, we
Nice.
slept in our full-on
Wow.
snowsuits. It was super hot.
Ooh, sexy snowsuits.
Sexy. Yeah. But yes, the next day it was the first time that I had sex. It was so magical.
Oh, whoa.
it. So talk to me
Okay.
about being a 35-year-old virgin.
Can you imagine? Kelsey would have been like, "Girl, no, we."
That's
Like,
a lot
I
of
love
pressure
you,
for
but-
him. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I thankfully did not wait until marriage.
Wow.
But you were
Okay.
close. You
I
were
was-
26. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, I was
Freak.
26.
No, I'm just
when-
kidding.
and-
And Courtney, how old were you?
I was 22.
Woo-woo! Late bloomers.
Well, and the thing is, ladies, I would love to say that I was like, no, I can't. I won't. But I was like, somebody want to have sex with me? And everyone's like, ugh. And I was like, anybody. And then at 22, some guy was like, all right, I'll fuck you. And then I was like, oh. But truly, no one was barking up my tree to try and take it from me. Yeah. Well, I had back hair, so that I had a lot of back hair, so I was not taking my clothes off for anybody. I did. I still do.
Something to grab onto.
Right? Well, and okay, real quick, just a little so I didn't know I had back hair, and then one day my mom was like, Courtney, do you want to go get waxed? And I was like, get what waxed? And she was like, I don't know, your eyebrows or the small of your back. And I was like, what's on my back? And she's like, nothing, no. So cut to, I'm in show choir and we're on a trip in Florida. We're at a water park. I'm in the water in a bikini. And I remember my mom's voice, maybe wax the small of your back. And so I just did one of these, like just to peek. And what I saw was a mane of man hair floating behind me. And I went white. And I went and put my clothes back on and sat in a lawn chair for the rest of the day. And everyone was like, are you okay? And I was like, I mean, it was like, it's like finding a tick that's been on you in front of boys in the water. I'd been walking around with that, like just flowing behind me. Like, what happens when it dries off? Is it like, oh my God. So I did end up getting it waxed.
Pony.
Good Lord.
You had a tail.
And I had no idea. And my poor mom was just like, do you maybe want to go get waxed? And I was like, why would I get waxed? I'm perfectly hairy, like Dad and Matt. My brother and my dad. My sister and my mom were hairless. Anyway, so that helped me from, I was just way too self-conscious about my body and again, no one was trying to see it. So they all caught wind of my back hair from the Florida trip. And men were like, ooh.
She's got a tail. Like,
I mean, I'll just never forget it. Like looking back there and seeing this, like it was in the water. I could see it.
It was just floating there behind you.
I was like, I mean, it was absolutely like just shocking. So I stayed a virgin until 22. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail us because we're really here.
That's perfect. It's perfectly on topic.
Right. I love to bring up my back hair whenever I can.
Sarah Beth, you didn't have a back hair problem, did you?
Did you?
You had.
No, I had a religious chastity problem.
There you go.
Wow.
I knew you had a chastity belt.
Yep. Yeah.
Back hair.
Totally. Yeah. But no, I was raised very, very religious, very conservative house.
Oh, okay.
And
What denomination?
we went to First Assembly of God, which I kind of relate to like a more like, I don't know if Pentecostal is the right word, because that everybody like says, "Oh, did you like handle snakes?" And I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
we weren't."
Did you
like
speak in
that."
tongues?
Yeah.
But people spoke in tongues, and like they would raise their
Mhm.
hands and like dance on the aisle, and like all my Baptist and Methodist friends were like, "What the heck is going on here?"
Yeah.
And I'm
See,
like,
I
"Is this
think the
not normal?"
Baptists are like very theatrical.
Yes.
Oh,
And the
really?
first time because I used to go to a Baptist church with my friend on occasion on Sundays. It was like, you can stay at their house, but you have to go to church with them at their church
Right.
the next
Oh,
day. And
yeah.
I'd go to
I
this
know those
Baptist
friends.
church and like they'd have microphones and they're dancing and clapping their hands. And I was like, what the
Oh.
fuck is going on here? I was like, this is kind of amazing because in my church, they're like, blah, 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 blah. You
Yeah.
guys can go and drink whiskey now. They're
Drink
like,
away the sin.
basically, they're like, don't call us. We'll just see you again next Sunday. In the meantime, here's a bottle of scotch.
Yeah. Work it out on your own, folks.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Don't bring it to church.
We're Presbyterians coming from Scotland.
Scotland. Presbyterian. That's a fun word.
Well, yeah. So maybe I wasn't as maybe we weren't as cuckoo as I thought we were. I think we're all a little cuckoo.
Sarah Beth, this is horse shit. Where are the snakes?
Yeah. SB, like, how was sex framed in your household
Yeah.
growing up? Like, what messages were explicit and what were, some of the messages that were just kind of like silently absorbed?
So it was definitely like, like from my parents, like,
Yeah.
don't do it until you're married. And then also specifically from my mom, because my mom would be the one to talk to me about stuff, like was like masturbation is like bad and like you shouldn't masturbate either.
Did you
'Cause
know
it's
what like
all-
masturbation was
Yeah.
when she said that
I
to you?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. Like, I feel like I might have been like on the earlier side, middle school, like kind of figuring that stuff out. And then not having anybody to like really talk about it with, like just thinking
Yeah.
that, oh, it's bad. Like I'm
Yep.
doing something bad. You have to push that away. You don't say it to anybody. And so that was taught to us. And then in church, I can remember being in like youth group and them being like very explicit, like sex is going to be something that you really want to do. They were very forthcoming about that.
Yeah.
And
They were like, because it's so fucking good.
right. And I was like,
You don't even know, kids.
I know. I was like, so, but don't do it. Like, you cannot do it. Absolutely can't think about it. It is like, you have to be godly and resist all of that temptation and save yourself for marriage. And to be fair, I mean, they were talking to the boys and the girls all at the same time about all
Okay,
that
that's
stuff.
cool.
So it wasn't like two different messages there.
But at home, it was
But-
maybe two different messages.
But at home, it was a little bit, and I didn't realize this until later. I didn't date anybody in high school until I was like a senior. At the end of my senior year, I started dating someone. But my brother and my sister both did, and I'm the oldest, and they're just a couple years younger than me. And when we were in our 20s, I think I was having a conversation with my brother. And it was like a totally different experience. Like he had a girlfriend, and it was just kind of like assumed that they were having sex. And so it was like, hey, don't get pregnant. Like
Yeah.
here, like you have to do this. And that was probably the extent of that conversation as well. I wasn't present for it, so I don't know. But it was just a different expectation. And I don't really know what my sister's talk was, if she got like something different than me. I think because I didn't date anybody, they were like, oh, she's good, she's not gonna do it.
Yeah. She's straight.
We don't have to
Yeah.
worry about this one.
We don't gotta worry
Yeah.
about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's too busy swimming, she doesn't have time
Yeah.
to have sex.
So
Yeah. That's awesome.
when everyone's preaching to you like, don't have sex because it's bad, what was the purity culture promise that was made to you that if you followed the rules, that something magical was going to happen once you did, like that you'll go to heaven, or if you sinned?
Yeah, I think that was always it. It was like a heaven or hell type thing. That was like the big, if you do this, like you're on the path of righteousness, you will get to heaven. And this is like one of those steps, along with a bunch of other stuff that you need
Okay.
to
Yeah,
like
really.
do. But that was the like whole guardrails of your life. Like, yeah, stay on this straight and narrow path, and then eventually you'll get to that pearly gate and you won't go to hell. So yeah, which is like wild. I don't know. I tell my husband's an atheist, and I tell him some of this stuff, and he's like, God, every time you tell me a story, it just gets crazier. That people believe it. And I was like full on. I mean, I believed it. I believed it.
you're
I
raised
believed
in
it. I
it.
believed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was like, I'm doing right. Like I'm righteous and doing
They're
the right
rules
thing.
and stories that humans have created. And
Yeah.
our imaginations are phenomenal. They're spectacular. I mean, the shit we can come up with, and then somebody's like, I think you need to write that down.
Yeah.
Put it in a book. Oh,
Put it in the book.
I've got something else to add to that book. And then we're going to make up some rules. And we're going to force people to follow them. And then we're going to make this place called, it's a really bad place. We're going to call it hell. And if you don't follow
Fire.
these rules, and if you
Fire
don't
and
read these
brimstone.
stories and believe them, then you're going to
Yeah.
go, and there's this guy, and he doesn't like you, and he's going to torture you.
Your
Yeah.
thoughts are going to lead you down paths that will send you straight to hell. Now, Sarah Beth, answer me this. Did it affect the way you viewed other people that were having sex?
Yeah, I had some of my best friends when we were like 16, 17 were having sex. Not everybody, but two of my best friends did. And
Well,
I
that's
didn't like,
major.
I didn't care. Like,
Yeah.
I was like excited to have sex. Like I was really looking forward to it. Probably because even though my mom told me it was bad, I was still
Yeah.
masturbating. So
Yeah. Which is
naughty.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Well,
It's so
we were
crazy.
never talked about, like, I don't recall my parents ever discussing masturbation with us. So I thought it meant I was pregnant. So I thought I was pregnant all the time. Like, I was just like, how am I going to explain this? The police are going to be like, how did this happen? And I'll be like, and then they're going to throw me in the slammer. And they'll be like, she's got back hair, lock her up.
Like, she's gonna have a back-haired baby.
She's a back hair, pregnant child idiot. And God help her. But yeah, like, it was never talked about.
Yeah.
And so I thought I was that special, that I was the only person that ever did such an awful, dirty, bad thing.
Yeah.
So isn't that terrible? Like, I encourage people to talk about it with their girls.
Yes.
Oh, my best friend Gina, her mom, none of us had cable except for my friend Kristen, and that's the only time we'd get to watch MTV. And my friend Gina's mom would call MTV the masturbation station. And I knew it was like a bad thing because MTV was so cool.
Yeah. The masturbation station.
Yep.
Never did masturbate to MTVs.
Me neither. Yeah.
I think
MTV
it
scared me.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved it.
I couldn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me.
David Lee Roth and all the big hair bands and the guys with, wearing makeup. They were so hot back then. Oh, God.
Interesting.
Poison. Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How much older than me are you?
That White Snake video with what's her name, Tawny Katan, sliding all over that car. I saw that girl and I was like, I want to be her.
I was different than that. I didn't like the New Kids on the Block, but they were around, and so I would fantasize that they would all come to my school and I was their little sister. That was my fantasy. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I had no sexual attraction to any of them. I was just like, they'll be my big brothers. And I'll be like, these guys, don't mind them. They're not related, but they're all my brother.
That's very interesting. I don't know.
Isn't that bizarre? I don't remember being attracted to any celebrity when I was a kid.
Oh.
I was busy being weird as shit, so it's fine.
So Sarah Beth, you waited until you were out of college even. Were you tempted in college to have sex?
No, I could show you photos of me in college.
Did you have back hair too?
My friends would joke. They would be like, "You literally put on our like sweats, like our swim sweats, and you do not take them off for like the entire swim season." And I would be like, and I wouldn't take showers because I would be like, I
Who
mean, I'm
gives a
just getting
shit?
I'm getting in the pool again in like
It's
3 hours.
That's a great point. I swam too, and it was like, what is the point?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want
Wash
to
and
get
wash
wet
and wash.
again.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody was like Courtney, was really knocking at the door, being like,
Nobody
"Yeah,
was.
let's get it." So
I want to
no,
take your flower.
I was probably the
You're
least
the
sexually
one.
active college student to ever exist.
I was runner up there. I was next to you.
Oh man. Yeah, so no, like college was very I was did not have any, didn't date, didn't do anything, just swam and went to school, and that was like
So then
it.
after college, did
Yes.
you then have like a boyfriend or two and start to explore?
Yeah, so I moved out to LA when I was 25, and
Amazing. A virgin moving to LA. I love
yes,
it. I love it.
yes. And I
Let's
lived
go
at
to LA.
home. Like I lived at home in my small town in North Carolina right after college for a couple years. And everybody was like, "Don't you want to date?" And I was like, "No, I am not staying here. Like I
Yeah,
am not
no.
dating anybody in this town.
That's so
I am getting
smart.
out."
So smart. Genius.
So that was a good chase time in my life. And then when I moved out to LA, I was on my own, like finding myself. I was very, I was 25, but probably had the sexual maturity of like a 14-year-old, maybe.
Yeah, girl.
You got
And,
those hormones pumping in your system.
Yeah. And I was like, long story short, I started dating a couple of guys that I worked with because I was at work all the time, and I worked a lot in the post-production world, and at the time it was really male dominated, probably still is, but so after about a year of being there, I started dating some guys, and there was this one guy, and he was probably like, I don't know, in his early 30s at the time. He was from the Pacific Northwest, and he was like the quintessential like Pacific Northwest man that you think about.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
Like,
yeah. That's the reason I moved up here, was to find that man.
yeah, like
Hot.
tall, like
Mhm.
like thick and muscular, but not like gym muscular.
yeah.
Just like naturally, I'm gonna go chop this tree
Yeah,
and build you a house. Like,
I'm gonna handle the everything.
yeah. And he was just like
Ah.
strong, and he rode a motorcycle. Like,
Oh God.
y'all,
Forget it.
he was lovely.
Oh,
And
God,
so
that's
we started dating a little bit, like very casually, just like going out a couple of times. And I can remember him like wanting to go there, and I would be like, so I was so nervous, and I had no confidence in myself. And he was just so like worldly, and had, I don't know, just like knew his shit, and like was very like good. Honestly, like he is like what romance novels are like
written about.
Oh my
you know,
God.
like have that kind of like just that charisma and like strength, and
Yeah.
he just knew like the right moves to do. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh my, I was like out of my depth. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what's happening? And I was so nervous. And
Did
then,
he know
so-
you were a virgin?
Okay, so
Here we go.
this is we went out one night, and we went to see a movie, and then we went back to his place.
What movie?
And oh God, it was some movie about, it was like a pandemic movie, like
Love.
it was
Contagion.
It was Contagion, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's super hot.
Paint the story. I want to hear. Like, I like it all.
His house was near a movie theater. We walked down to the movie theater, walking back, and we got back to his house, and I can't remember all the details about like how we got to where we got, but we were in the bed, and we were all naked,
Oh, yeah.
and I went down on him,
Oh, my.
and he was very well endowed.
Oh, dear.
Like, God had blessed him.
And
Were you like, fit?
Yeah.
So I was like trying
Like,
to
climate?
exactly. I like was trying to get it in my mouth, and I literally I stood up, and I was like, this might be a problem. And
my
I said,
God, that's right.
And then I said, I'm a virgin. And I was like, when we are full on naked in his bed, I was like, when was I gonna tell him when he popped my hymen? And then I was like,
yeah.
ta-da!
Guess what, buddy?
Confetti comes out.
I just think back on it and I'm like,
That's so precious. Oh, God.
this poor guy. We are full on in it. And I just am so surprised. I've never done this. And bless his heart, he was so great. He was just like, okay, so why do you want to do this? And I can remember saying I'm not in love with you.
Oh.
I'm not in love with you. I don't expect you. And my dad's not going to show up with 3 goats and a cow and be like, here you go.
Yeah. You won.
She's yours now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
she loves the pool. See you later.
yeah. And so we did have sex. He was like, okay. I was like,
Did he have lube?
yeah. And and okay. So, okay. And
For
so
your
we were
first time? They get
and-
lube out?
I mean,
Sorry.
I don't know, because I was like, and he was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to wear a condom, because there was going to be no way that we could do it with one. It was just not going to I don't know. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay.
That's what they all say.
I know. And then he was like, I'm going to pull out. I don't want to make him look bad. He was not that way at all.
Jury's out on that. Can't wear condoms. So sorry.
So we had sex, and then I can remember I was like, there's no way I'm gonna have an orgasm. I'm
Oh,
not,
yeah.
I have no, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. So I was like, you can just finish. It's cool. And then we were laying in bed, and he was like, all right, well, I have an early day tomorrow or something.
And he kicks you out.
And
He was such a nice guy, though. He's a really good dude.
And I was like,
Pickle, though.
Hey, bitch, I can't wear a condom, and I think it's time to go.
I wish I could, but because you're a virgin, I can't wear condoms.
I know. It's just so funny because I have never thought about it in that context, because I also do know him, and I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm sure. We're
We're fucking with you.
but yeah, yeah. And so I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I should probably get the fuck out of
leave. Take my shredded virginity with me.
So you walked to your car.
Oh,
And were you in shock?
Yeah, I remember the next week. So 2 days later, I had sex with him again. I
Oh, cool.
immediately went to Planned Parenthood the next day. And
y'all
was
are on top of your
job.
lives. Good
and
gracious.
I mean, not really. I should have been
But-
I'm gonna do this, and I should probably go do it before
Oh,
I
God.
got birth control, and then went back and we had sex 2 days later or something like that again. And then, long story short, a week later, I'd asked him to go to see one of the movies at the Hollywood Cemetery, and
Yeah.
then he was like the day of, he was like, I can't, something came up, and so and then shortly after that, he told me that an ex-girlfriend had come back into his life, and that they were gonna try to get back together. Well, when he told me that, I was like, well, you know what I can do? I can go fuck now, because I've already done it.
Is that what you said to him? You're
No,
like,
I didn't. I said
you
it
know
to
what I can do
myself.
now?
I was like,
Oh.
I was
Sarah Beth.
I know. I was like, you know what I can do? I can go fuck somebody else. And I have been
That's
dating
so
this.
empowering.
Yeah, and I had been dating this other guy, and so I can remember calling him up one night and being like, "Hey, can I come over?" And I went over and I had sex with him.
Okay, how many days after you lost your virginity? Just another week or two?
I think within
Hell
2
yeah.
weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job, girl.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then I left immediately after. I was like, okay, I gotta go.
Later, skater.
And he was so nice, and he was like, you can
Oh.
stay.
Oh.
And he was so sweet. He was such a great person. And I was like, no, that's okay. And I realized like after that, I was like, I'm really into this other guy. And I'm actually really brokenhearted about how
Oh, yeah.
things like ended.
Yeah.
And anyway, so it was not a terrible way to lose my virginity per se. I don't think I would have done things a lot different, like told him ahead of time before we were naked in his bed and I had his dick in my mouth.
What? Sarah Beth, what?
I'm like, who does that? I'm like, oh my God. I know.
Someone
It's
that
like,
is a virgin does that. That's what
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't
I
know.
don't know. I just was not confident at all. Like to be able to tell him that and like just be forthcoming and stuff. And I just
Yeah.
didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like one of my friends, when I was telling her the story, she was like, God, you probably just like skipped over all like the awkward bad sex that you have when you're in high school. And I was like,
100%.
Yeah.
girl, I don't know that I did though, because now I feel like I just had sex with people that knew what they were doing and I had no idea what I was doing. And they're like,
Yeah.
she's really bad at this. It's like,
No, I don't think men think that
I
at
don't
all.
think that is
Not at all.
all.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
I was
Because I
like,
think that the men can really be bad at it. They're the ones that
Yes.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my story. And then like after that, I've only had sex with, and this is what's funny that I tell my husband this is
Ooh,
like I've had
numbers.
sex. My husband is number 7, so
Way
I
to
didn't have.
go.
I didn't. I mean, I met him when I was 28 or 29. So I mean, I was pretty I got it in
Shortly
there for a
after.
couple
You
years.
made it count.
Yes.
I know.
That's
but
what
then
you should do.
I'm like, gosh, but I was like, maybe I should have done more. Before I got married.
Oh, bless
I
your
don't
heart.
know. Whatever.
You guys
But
can role play.
yeah, well, that's what I tell
Mm.
Kelsey. I'm like, you get the best. I was like, I was so sexually deprived for so many years. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you just hit the jackpot, baby.
Yeah.
You did, bro.
Uh-huh.
You did.
Uh-huh.
Way to go, Kelsey. Snaps for Kelsey.
Yeah.
Hit it. Penguin, marriage, Antarctica.
So when you
dreamboat.
finally did get married, was there just this little like nugget inside of you that was like, oh, now I'm no longer sinning? Because you were raised so strictly Christian?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
Okay, so I can tell you. So Kelsey and I lived together. We moved in together, and bought a house together before we got married.
Oh, wow.
And I
So you
can
did the deal.
remember when I told my parents that we were moving in together. And I had, by the way, I moved up. I was in LA when I met Kelsey. And then we dated long distance for about 1.5 years. And then I moved up here to be with him. So clearly it was very serious.
Right.
And I was up here for about 1 year when I moved into with him. And I can remember telling my parents, and they got so mad at me. They didn't talk to me for
What?
I mean, I can't remember how long it was, but
Holy
eventually,
smokes.
like, yeah, they didn't talk to me. And then my grandparents sent me a letter that was actually, it was as nice as it could possibly have been for what they were trying to say. Basically, like, we don't agree with like what you're doing and you should come home, and like feeling like I was on the path straight to hell.
She's out of control.
You should
Yeah,
come
like,
home.
and
Oh,
I can remember I
goodness.
got so upset over that email, and Kelsey
Heck
was like,
yeah.
if it's important to you, and Kelsey had never like cared about getting married or anything like that. He was like, it's just not, I don't really see myself getting married. It's not important to
Right.
me. He doesn't have any of that religious context at all.
Right.
And I remember getting so upset over that email, and he was like, if it's important to you, like, we can get married, but if it's important to you and not like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
your family thinks that this is
Right.
something that you need to do.
Right.
And yeah, and I remember they had a hard time with him being an atheist, and they were very concerned about that. That changed my perspective on like how when I see somebody in a relationship that I'm like, I don't know if this is like the right person for you. Like, it changes my how I think about that. Cause I'm like, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Like hearing somebody tell you that like you're not with the person that you should be with and like this relationship is not good and this person's not good. It
Yeah,
sucks. It is so
absolutely.
painful.
Oh my
And
gosh. Especially your
um
family.
especially your
Yeah.
family. Like
I mean, gosh.
it was really tough. And
Yeah.
uh they have a I mean, like I never got like an apology or anything for any of that. I never acknowledged anything. And I probably didn't tell them how much it affected me, but now uh they love Kelsey and they
Well, I'll be sure they
yeah.
listen to this episode.
Oh my
I
God.
know, I'm like, oh sorry.
Hey.
Yeah, no, like parents be
You're
advised.
Yeah. You're telling the truth. This is what
But
happened.
I am telling the truth. Like, I mean, it
Yeah.
is what happened,
Yeah.
and I don't like. I mean, it is what it is. I don't hold a grudge against them
No.
for that. It just forms. It's just my story, and
Yeah.
helps me hopefully be a better person and more understanding. And
Yeah, it's understanding. But okay, so looking back now, what do you wish your teenage you had been told, like plainly, honestly, and without any shame around sex?
yeah, I think if you're gonna do it, like have that conversation, have
Mhm.
both conversations of
Yeah.
like, hey, this is what we're gonna say. This is the best path that we think, and you can choose to do that or not, like, and you don't know where life is gonna lead. The rules around people are getting married at like 14, 15, 16, like in the Bible. And it's like
Mhm.
now it's like
Right?
women and men are not getting married, like and anybody not getting married until later in life.
Mhm.
Because that's all
45.
changed. Yeah. And you're like, am I waiting? Like,
I've
no, like
never
that's
had
insane.
Yeah, I've never had premarital sex. So,
You're
because
so Emily, you're so good.
because it's not premarital sex if you're not getting married.
Boom.
Boom.
Loophole, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'll see you in heaven, bitches.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm going to be riding my unicorn Pegasus through the sky, dildo in hand.
Dildo in hand. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So I think that's what I would like here's this one path. But if you have this other path, like if you choose that, you're going to have sex or whatever, like be smart about it. Teach
Mm.
contraception. You really want to be pro-life and prevent
Yeah.
abortion?
Yes.
Like
Yep.
teach people how to avoid that and don't and provide access to that stuff. Like I just like
Provide
it's
access
just
to it.
so unrealistic, I
Yeah.
feel like, to
At our
not have sex.
basal level, we are animals. And once
Yes.
those hormones kick in, anywhere from, 10 plus years for
Yeah.
boys and girls, you want to start having sex. It's our natural instinct to procreate and do that. And like you just said, teach them, get on contraceptives.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can still be good and go to church and, be in a loving, committed relationship with somebody, but
Mm-hmm.
the shame around it all.
That's so terrible and
It's
so
horrible.
damaging.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not a bad person.
You're not a bad person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be smart and also like choose a good partner. I think that
Yeah.
above any like choose someone that is going to be respectful and
Yeah.
like and don't feel pressured. Like you should never feel pressured to have sex with someone.
Absolutely not.
And or to have sex by a certain time or anything like that. Like do it for yourself and be smart about it. And talk about STDs and like I read a lot of romance books or listen to a lot of romance books on tape, and I'm so impressed with like a lot of those like put that in there of like before
Hell
these
yeah.
characters have sex. They're like have you had a recent STI test? And I'm like, wonderful. I was like,
Yeah,
where was
absolutely.
all that? Like it was
Uh-huh.
just shoved down our throats of like, this is fear. You're gonna get this if you have sex, so just don't
Yeah,
do it and
it was
not
fear.
talk about like, okay, when you do it, because you're probably gonna do it at some point.
Yeah.
Like,
What? It's just like this denial.
yeah.
What would you tell somebody listening now if they're growing up in a similar environment or they feel like behind or broken or they're late to the party? Like, what would you want them to know?
I think again, just make your choice for yourself. And if that is your choice and that is your path, and then by all means, like stay on that path. Like do what
Absolutely.
is going to make
Mhm.
you happy. Um, but don't feel it's not a shameful thing. Sex
No.
isn't bad. Yeah, you don't need to like hide away your desires. Talk about it. Like, or if you can't talk about it, if you don't have like that relationship with your parents or, anybody in your life, like, um,
Email us.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
like
oh,
like find stuff. Watch like Sex in the City. I can remember seeing my
Yeah.
friend, one of my swim friends. I was spending the night at her house, and she had HBO, and she was not
oh,
raised in as religious of a household as I was, and we were watching Sex in the City, and I can remember it blew my mind. I was
yeah.
like, oh my god, these women are like talking about
Mhm.
masturbation and it's like
Yeah.
totally fine. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just felt like not alone in that
Yeah.
Yes.
like
Mhm.
moment. And I was like, oh my God, it's not like I can have ownership of that.
Yeah.
And that's probably it. Own your own sexuality for
Mhm.
whatever that means for you. If that does mean that you are going to wait until marriage or until you find the person that you want to marry, whether you
Right.
wait until like the wedding night or whatever, like just own it for yourself and
Mhm.
own your decisions and be as smart and safe as you can be, because I definitely was not. Like, I was an idiot.
Me neither. Me neither. Yeah.
No.
I was just so dumb, like, did not
We
take
all are.
precautions, and, like, I'm, like, lucky that I don't have
Yeah,
any
same here.
like, I'm
Same
so
here.
lucky, like, I got
I'm
really
very lucky
lucky.
as well.
Mhm.
I got
Yeah.
Me
very,
me
very
3.
lucky. Dodged a
Yeah.
lot of mother heckin' bullets.
Dodged a lot of bullets because I also, like, not having the confidence on myself, I think I used alcohol too as, like, a little bit of a crutch when
Mhm.
I would get, like, too drunk, and then I would
Yep.
have sex with people, and I was like, "I can't remember if we did put on a condom,"
Me
Mhm.
or,
too.
like and you're
Mhm.
just like, "Oh my god," like,
What's
"It's
happening?
crazy, what's happening?"
Yeah.
And I just I w if I could go back, like, and tell myself when I was starting out, like, just
Yeah.
be confident, like, um definitely don't use alcohol as a way to, like, loosen up and, like
Right.
and feel like you can go do, like, what you wanna
Crazy
do,
stuff.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I also
yeah.
think, like, ask questions while you're having sex, like, "Does that feel good? Do you like this?" Because then it
Yes.
opens the guy up too to want to talk to you
Uh-huh.
about it, and then you guys can
Yeah.
really start to have some fun.
Right.
Mhm.
And that was definitely, like, when there was one guy that I was, in a relationship with, and, that was, like, the first time, that I started feeling that confidence, like, um he really celebrated my body and, like, made me feel really confident in, like
Oh.
in how I looked, and, just
Yeah.
hearing somebody
Yeah.
say, like, "Oh my god, you're just so beautiful," and, like,
Yeah.
it gives you that, like
It does. Yeah.
Mhm.
empowers you, and hopefully not too embarrassed. Kelsey doesn't get embarrassed, but,
Uh,
I've like, since
We
we've
can
been
try.
together
yeah.
we
Let's
can
let's give it a
totally
go.
try.
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
But since being married to him, it's or been being with him, um, uh, it's been really nice to get comfortable with someone and
Yeah.
just explore new things and talk
Yeah.
about like, oh, hey, yeah, this does feel good. Like, I
Yeah.
really like this. I'm
Yeah.
finding new positions, and just it's really nice. Like, talking is huge, and you can do that even if you're just with somebody for one night. Like,
It's so true. Yep. Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
I
yeah,
mean, I don't know about you ladies, but in the beginning, I was performing as
hmm
what a woman having sex I would just perform. So I
Yes.
honestly I don't even know. I liked the intimate part of it. I didn't care about the physical. That was and then dudes would be like, "Did you have an orgasm?" I'd be like, "Yeah, totally, big time."
yeah,
Never did. Well, and
yeah.
my first boyfriend, he's the guy I lost my virginity to, God bless him. We started having sex and I was doing what I thought is what you do, which is a full-on theatrical performance. And about a year after we'd started, he's like, "So how many times would you say you're having an orgasm when we have sex?" And I'd be like, "Oh, none." No, not a single
Yeah.
one. And he
Yeah.
cried. Like he was devastated.
Oh.
So then we started to work on it, which I don't know about you guys, but the moment I start to really hyper focus on having an orgasm, that shit's never going to happen. Never
Oh
gonna
yeah.
happen.
Never.
So then we worked and worked and worked and worked. So finally I just started faking it again. And so a year later, because we were together about 4 years, he was like,
Mhm.
so now how many times would you say you've had an orgasm? And I was like, I have none. And then he cried again. Like it was awful. So there was so much of not wanting to discuss it with partners for
Yeah.
me after that
Yeah.
because I was like, I can't be honest because it's just going
Yeah.
to become this chore where, you
Mhm.
know, sex still is satisfying when you're having sex and you
Yeah.
don't. At least I've experienced
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
And men really have a hard time. Well, boys at that time, I was, you know, I was younger then. But
I think
but
men
yeah,
have a hard time with it still
for sure.
if
For
they
sure.
don't think they're getting you off, that they're doing something wrong. And it's
Yeah.
I can't speak for every woman, but it doesn't happen every time. And,
Mhm.
absolutely not. Do I fake it anymore? No. Like,
Mm-mm.
it still feels good, like you said, Courtney.
Mhm.
Like, it's still fun.
There's a
Yeah.
satisfaction there
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
And I also wasn't comfortable talking about it for a
Yeah.
very long time, like into my 30s, like once I got into recovery. And that was kind of fun because it was more like I really knew myself. I felt good about myself. I trusted myself. I grew up, my sister and my mother both bed and wed the same man. Like they married the only person they'd ever slept with. And I've been keeping a list of everybody I've ever kissed.
I have a
I've got
list
a full
too.
list.
Do
Yeah.
you?
Yes, I have a written down list.
Oh.
And I've always been curious about people's numbers because why not?
Yeah.
I just think
Yeah.
it's interesting. So
It is interesting.
yeah.
Mhm.
Agreed.
And I think it's empowering. And to the trouble is for me is like my heart always got involved. Like I would love to be that, like I can sleep with him and walk away, which I can
Yeah.
now for the most part. Well, I could not now. I don't even know the guy's name last night. He's still here though. It's weird. I made him chili. I don't. We had breakfast. What? When I was 25, I slept with so then it was 3 people for the longest time when I was in LA, which was, and then I literally quadrupled that number in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was depressed and using alcohol as a crutch and also drugs, but I was also super thin. I had been because I was depressed. So I just felt I was looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love, you know.
Yeah.
That's other anytime growing up or even in my 20s, if a guy would look at me across the room, any guy, any dude, I would be like, they're falling in love with me. It was never they're attracted to me. It was
Yes.
always
Uh-huh.
they are in love with me
Mhm.
and
Yep.
this is going to be so romantic. And then when I
Yep.
really started to get my first couple hard knocks of people using me,
Mhm.
and I was using them too, but I also like I just imagined that like, how are you not in love with me? Like
Yeah.
I'm adorable. And then so then that cut down my self-esteem quite a bit. But
Mhm.
just not like looking at people with sexual attraction. It was always like
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This leads to love. That's a
Yeah.
good, that's
Yeah.
a good point. That's how it's framed, is like this is an
It
act between
is.
people that love each other.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
and trying to get over it doesn't have to be that.
It doesn't. And like I think it would have saved me a lot of heartache because I just figured
Yeah.
he's looking at me so hard. He's so in love. After I moved from LA to Virginia, and my partner at the time, we were still sort of together. So I waited 4 years. Like not a single person touched me in a like it was and I needed that space, especially because I was coming off drugs, coming off alcohol, had to really like reframe my whole life, like figure out who I was and all of that. But like so and then having to start again, but with raw dog, like no booze, no drugs, no
Yeah.
anything. And the first guy, oh Lord help us all. I met him on Plenty of Fish. No, OK Cupid. And he lived 2 streets away from me in his parents' basement. And he worked at Hot Topic. These were not things I knew before I went over there, but I was so ready. I was like, he was funny. He was like super funny and smart. And so we were like, and then he was like, why don't you just come over? And I was like, well, I will. And so I did. And I get there and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And he kept looking at me and going, seriously though, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you here? Like, what? And I was like, oh, I'm in recovery. He was like, oh, okay. She was like, something's. And I was so flattered. I was like, oh, that's sweet. And he turned out to be a very fun friend, but
Cool.
I was so ready to it was like losing my virginity all over again. I was like, I gotta get this out of here. And I knew there was not a love thing there, even though part of me was like, but maybe. And I was like, oh, no. His legs are skinnier than mine. No. But, yeah, he did. He worked at Hot Topic. I'd go and visit him at the mall. Isn't that something?
Fun fact, my mom banned my sister from shopping at Hot Topic.
Because they play MTV, it's the masturbation
Oh,
store.
it was the devil's
is
store,
wild.
y'all.
It is
the devil's store.
That is the devil's candy store right there.
Yeah.
They've got red suspenders with skulls on them.
Yeah, they got
Are you out of your
Jankos.
mind? Yeah. Sarah Beth, have you lost your mind? They have socks with the devil himself on them.
That's right.
They got pins. Anyway, but yeah, so that was my first parlay back into having sex again, which I'll tell you, going 4 years without anyone, like any touch of any kind of like attraction was hard. And the only places I was going was teaching a jazzercise class, which mostly always women, and then going to AA meetings, which is not a hotbed of mental health or like strong relationships. It's just a lot of people trying to be better people. And I stopped going to meeting with men in them because I felt like they were gonna, like, if a man just like slightly looked at me, I'd be like, you want to fuck? Like, I was so hard up, and I was like trying to like chill, but I felt like if someone was like, if they brushed my arm, I would just be like, ah, like it was crazy. As I was also in my 30s, peaking, the sexual peak. So I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Same here, Courtney. I went almost 5 years recently.
Oh,
Like
shit, Emily.
without sex. Yes. It was, I had broken up with somebody literally, I think, March 18th, 2020.
Okay.
Not knowing we were going into a lockdown for 2 years.
But weren't we already in the lockdown at that point?
It was, I think it had just started. They were like, wherever you're at, like, leave, businesses closed for like a week or two.
Right.
And I had just literally that day broken up with this guy. We went into a lockdown. Here in Seattle, we had one of the strictest quarantines nationwide, if not worldwide. We were basically closed for about 2 years. I got real comfortable in my sweats with my cat eating Mexican food.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
it was
yeah,
bad.
that's
And
sexy.
then as soon as like we were coming out, I was not feeling great about myself, but trying to, get my body back together. I was diagnosed with cancer. And then
shoot.
that happened. And then it was just like another 2+ years on top of that, where it's not that I didn't want to date, but how do you start a relationship when you're like, I would go tomorrow, but I have chemotherapy. So,
Sweet.
Yeah, and then I was bald, and then I thought for a moment, like when I was bald, I was like, I'm still pretty cute. My hair, it's gonna start growing back. So I took some
You were
photos. I
absolutely
put
drop-dead
myself out
gorgeous.
there. Nobody wanted anything to do with me at that point, and that's kind of when the recovery hit, and I hit rock bottom for quite a while, and I did not want to be around people. Period.
Right.
Not even
Yep.
friends. Like I didn't.
Yep.
I just wanted to hole up in my house by myself all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so it was a while, and for me, like those 4.5 years are such a blur. Like I don't feel that I'm the age I am. I don't think that it's
Yeah.
now 2026. It still feels like 2020 to me a little
Yeah,
bit.
amen, yeah.
None of that happened. None of that happened for me, and all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, I'm getting old, and I'm not done having sex. I don't want to be done having sex.
Yeah.
Right? I do. I would like to be done. Hi, Sarah Beth, my beautiful, wonderful, sweet angel husband. He is 52, and it's daily, if not more than once a day.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's I know that there's
That's a
women out
lot.
there hearing that and like, oh my gosh, she's so lucky. I'm like, am I? Am I?
I mean, that's a lot of time.
Yeah,
Who's got the
it's a
time?
lot. Right. How does he's 52. He's had 5 babies.
Yeah.
He's one and
I mean,
he's absolutely delightful. So if I can take one for the team, I will. Right? Like he is just so special and wonderful. So I have had more sex in the last 3 years of my life than I have had in my entire life. Like, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So
has he always been like that in his life? Like just a
he
higher
has.
sex
Yeah.
drive? Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
really just
I mean, he has
yeah.
5 kids.
Like
so.
apparently
Yeah.
uh-huh.
How'd
There's a
that
reason
happen?
for that.
Yeah, right. But it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
You know,
is hard.
Like, marriage is hard. No, I'm just kidding. But it's really not. But that is not a problem I foresaw in my future. I never was like, I hope I don't have it too much. You know, I never was concerned about that. So, and it's funny because it's very widely known. I don't like to. I like to like never have a filter on my mouth, which gets me into trouble. But especially being on a podcast, I say some shit. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is also cool. I mean, we're 3 years in, so I'm not like
After 3 years, he still finds me attractive.
like. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but it does fade over. Like the frequency and like all that stuff typically does like
right.
fade.
Not at Courtney's house.
But not there.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Please, dear God.
I don't know what I will do.
So I'm all of a sudden very open to discussing open relationships. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Not at all. Someone else gonna come in and help tag team? Can we do a relay or something? I wonder if he's out there listening right now. There's nothing he's never heard before. Well, and I also was chatting with one of his sisters because he's one of 10. So he's got a big old family. Yeah.
Geez.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
loving, amazing family. And
Big family.
his sisters are so incredible. And one of them and I were talking and I had made a comment like, yeah, but he has a lot of sex, like something that she probably didn't want to hear about. But then she goes, well, and she laughed. She was like, oh, I know all about my brother. And I was like, what? She was like, I thought maybe you were a sex addict and that's why it was working out so well. And I was like, what's funny is though, I've been hit in every other addiction category except for sex. Where it really would have fucking served me. Right? Like, that's where I'm like, I would like moderation, please. I'm going to snort that cocaine off that prostitute's nipple, but
I'm not
only-
going to have sex with
I'm
her.
not going to have sex with her more than once.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
I only want it once.
Only once. But I'll, whatever those pills are, I'll take 9. But
I don't. Too much sex is not a good thing.
anyway, so yeah, that's well, and I was also consulting my married friends because I've had married friends. I mean, I was single for 12 years, like just so now I'm like I can actually dip into this wealth of knowledge that all these women around me have. So I've been asking women like, how often do you have sex in your marriage? And once a week is one woman. They have a day that they do it, Wednesdays. And some are like twice a month.
Interesting.
Some are 6 months. Especially folks with
Wow.
kids, it changes a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because I have no idea. Like the longest relationship I was in was 8 years, but we were both on and off drugs, and it was also long distance. So so this is all.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. Yeah, their needs, their yeah. So it's fascinating. I'm telling
is
you, life just
fascinating.
gets more and more interesting.
It sure does.
I agree.
It's
And
so
it's fun to
cool.
have these conversations. 'cause
is.
You,
It is.
unless
Like,
you
who
do,
would've
you don't
thunk?
know
You really
like what
don't.
everyone else is doing.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's so
absolutely.
interesting to be honest and open about it, like, because
Yeah.
I'm so curious about how other people, like, do their thing. Do
Yeah.
their thing. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Mhm,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
mhm.
Mhm.
Well, Sarah Beth,
You
do you
get
have
it.
anything else you wanna add to this?
That is a good question.
What do you think about
Um,
abortion? Good or bad?
oh, that's a great
Are you
question.
for
Funny
or
you should
against?
funny you should ask.
What made you ask that? I want
I
to hear
think I
your
can read
stance.
right, but
I
abortion
Yeah.
is healthcare.
yeah, and that has totally flipped in my life too. Yeah, so growing up, it was like, no,
Obviously,
no,
yeah.
no. And funny enough, my dad, I can remember him telling me in high school, and he was like, um, he's like, the government shouldn't be able to tell you what you should do to your body. So
Oh.
he was like,
Wow.
I know. And then I repeated that to my
Hell yeah,
mom,
Dad.
and she was like, absolutely not. She was like, abortion is wrong. Like, like from a religious
Whoa.
standpoint, it was like totally, and I don't know if my dad's like changed his tune on that. Like,
That's
but it was like a
fascinating.
very interesting, yeah,
That is
it was
interesting.
very interesting. So I was on
Wow.
the like, no, it's never okay to get one. I can remember I studied abroad in Spain, and I was having a conversation in Spanish, very
Of
rudimentary.
course.
I
You're
am not
so
fluent.
freaking cool.
I am
You're
not
so
fluent with my
cool.
senora who was taking care of me, and she was
See?
very, very liberal and like, and she was like, well, what if and she just used my sister as an example. She was like, well, what if your sister had been like, had been raped or something like that? Like, would you think, and she had gotten pregnant, like, and I literally remember being like, no, it's just not okay. And
Wow.
Oh.
I'm like, who was that person? I was like, look at this person that had like these like very dogmatic views and just, and I like
Yeah.
was raised in North Carolina. I went to school in North Carolina. It was
Oh,
like, it
man,
was
yeah.
just, my frame of reference for the world was very narrow.
Right.
And, I wish I could go back to her now and be like, look at me now. Look where like
Yeah.
I am totally on the other end of the spectrum. I'm like, if it's not the right choice for you, absolutely don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't have the right to tell somebody else like what they can do for themselves.
Mm,
And
mm, mm.
the flat out bans are just so bad for women. For the
Yeah.
for the
Unbelievable.
woman.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
for women's
Yeah.
health care. It's like
Yes.
I have friends that would have died had they not been able to
Absolutely.
have
Yes.
one, and that's happening.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's like, can we please stop having this? Can we please go back and like stop
Yes.
having this conversation because
Insane.
it's insane.
It
It
is.
really
It's
is.
absolutely
It's not, and
wild.
it's not about life. It's not about the.
I wish we could be in a world where it wasn't something we needed to have available. I wish that for sure.
Yeah. And like,
But
I wish that like women didn't have to make that choice, but they have every right to be able to make it. You can't like judge
Yeah.
somebody's situation and like
Have a
there's
say.
just
It's all circumstantial. It
Yeah.
just
It
it comes down to your situation, like you just said. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
and what's important, I think, is that we have these conversations, but not with just us who all agree
Yeah.
Right.
wholeheartedly,
Right.
but have it
Mhm.
with people that are like perfect example. My partner, he is had a different tune
Mhm.
about it, and instead of me getting like upset and like losing my mind because it's fucking insane,
Yeah.
we were able to have a real and I was able to give him my life experiences of what I've seen in my life and why I feel the way I feel about the things about abortion and I have changed his tune, folks.
Oh, nice.
Yay.
That's
Uh-huh.
good.
I mean,
I
that's
mean, he
huge.
certainly
That's
right?
big.
That's
And like
big.
it's a topic that's really hard, but it's also just like let's listen and
Listen to the
actually have a
women.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Listen to the
Yes.
motherfucking women.
Listen to the
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
And I'm going to derail us from the abortion talk, but again, it comes down to men making these rules and men thinking they know what's right when they don't know anything about women. And
Mm-mm.
my boyfriend right now is putting together an Airbnb got a little mother-in-law in his house. And I was like,
Awesome.
okay, when you need curtains, he's like, it's in the basement. Nobody comes back here. Nobody can see. And I'm like, as a woman, If I were to come in here and there are 5 exposed windows to the outside, I don't know who's living upstairs. I don't know this neighborhood.
Yeah.
I want
Mhm.
fucking curtains.
Mhm.
And he was
Right.
like, I never thought about it like that. And I'm like, because you don't ask women.
You're
Yeah.
not a
Men
prey
just-
animal.
Yes.
Women
I'm
are
like,
prey
he's like, I
animals.
would never
Yeah.
do that. I would never look in. No one's coming back here. I'm like, but you're not a woman. You don't. Every time you walk down the street, you don't know who's
Mhm.
behind you. I always have like
Mhm.
that sixth sense going on back there, looking over
For
my
sure.
shoulder, making
Mhm.
sure what's around the corner, this and that.
Mhm.
Women
Yep.
always think about that. It's
Yeah.
rape
Yep.
anxiety is what it is.
It is.
We're
Mhm.
It's
always in fight or flight.
Mhm.
I also teach a class at 5:00 in the morning, and we had
Mhm.
nothing but windows. And one morning, this man just walks up and he tries to open the door, and then he points at it and he goes, "Unlock the door." And as I'm teaching, and I'm like, and I said, "Get the fuck
No.
out of here." And I pointed. So it turns out he was a construction guy, a part of the building. He needed to come in to look at something, but I'm like, and I had called the police because I was like, this man is trying
Yeah.
to point at me and say, "Unlock it." Like,
Yeah.
so I went and had a conversation with the cop and him because they were kind of like, he's just there. I was like, I would like you both to go home and talk to your wives about this, like about this
Yes.
scenario.
Yeah.
I'm alone.
Mhm.
It's dark out. One man, 5 women that I'm responsible for. I was ready. to
Yeah.
dance,
Yeah.
jazz square him out
Yeah.
of there.
Absolutely.
They have
So-
no fucking idea.
They have
what
no
it's like.
ideas. So they can't
No.
be making laws for women.
Nope.
Is what it comes
Boom.
down to.
Agreed.
Boom. You don't get it.
Boom.
And on
Mm.
that note, hey, Sarah Beth, what's the nicest thing anybody has ever done for you?
Ooh, the nicest thing anybody's ever done for me.
It can be
A
anything,
gift,
anytime.
something that surprised
Just
you.
something awesome.
I will say this is something I love to eat.
Yeah, girl.
And I eat a lot. I've always
You're in
had
good
a big
company.
appetite.
Yes, you are.
And my husband cooks for me
Oh,
all the
yes,
time.
he does.
What's your favorite thing that he cooks?
Oh man, he loves Asian food of any kind, and he makes a really good fried rice.
Oof.
Yeah,
does.
it is really,
Oof.
really good. I mean, he's just a really good cook, and
Oh,
that like food is like the way to my heart, and he
Yes,
cooks
girl.
for me, and it is so wonderful, and I thank God every day for my
yes.
food loving chef atheist husband.
Kelsey.
Yeah, girl. Woo! Kelsey. Go,
Yeah.
boo boo.
Yeah, so that is
Oh,
my.
I love that. That's so
Oh,
great.
that's
But I want to say, Sarah Beth, you were a part of that day when we were all at the beach when I encountered that seal. That's one of the
Yes.
most awe-inspiring moments of my life. Like it was, I'll lay in bed and just replay it. I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, you were such a badass. Okay, so Puget Sound is never warm. It is always effing
Always
cold.
cold.
Don't believe
cold.
anybody that tells you differently.
Yeah.
And even though it was the middle of summer and it was sunny, that water's still like
It was so cold.
54 degrees on a good day.
Yeah.
And you just like in your bikini said, "I'm doing it," and like we're all standing. I'm like, I can remember it standing there and being like, "Ooh, it's so chilly," and then you're just like, "I am in the water. I'm going out." You just started swimming out, and then that
You swam out
sea
to like
lion.
the buoy, and you're like, "Where are you guys going?" We're like, "We don't ever swim out that
We're
far."
like, like standing there, like, look at her go. And then the sea was just like, here, look at these animals
Take a
that are just
peek at
going to
this.
welcome. And you're like, it's right there. Dude, it was so awesome.
I'm swimming and it's the darkest black I've ever seen. And I'm also thinking, they don't swim out here. They swim alongside. And so I'm going. And so I kept flipping over because the fear was so wonderful and like so overwhelming. So I kept flipping over because I was like, and then that's when I saw him. And I'll just never forget he's like, lady, what the fuck? I was like, what do I do? You guys said, it's fine. He'll probably come up to you. And then he went bloop. And then he came around. And he was like, woo. And then I was like, swimming right back to you guys. But I was so like, really, what a moment. And so I'm grateful that you were there. And like, probably because you guys were there, I was like, I'm going to, these girls are real deal kick-ass bitches. So I'm going to just go for it
Dude.
and just
You did. I think about that so much when I'm like, be Courtney, man. Just get your vagina in the water.
My vagine, and I was about to get all my teeth pulled. I was like, I gotta start doing some crazy shit. I want to let these teeth see what they can see before they get pulled out of my head. Who's on their farewell tour?
Give them one last final party. Oh my God!
Plus those
That's
little
amazing.
twofers. Yeah,
That's
but that was.
amazing.
I'll just never forget it, and it was
won't
so
either.
cool having you guys that, and you guys bringing me to a place where I could do something like that. Like, so cool.
That was amazing.
Badass bitches.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
SB, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yes.
Real quick, do you have anything you want to plug or share, or where people can find you, or anything, books you're reading, anything you're listening to, other than this
Your bank
podcast?
account information? I don't even know.
Deposits only.
Deposit only. How cool that looks like Venmo.
Oh. I'm not very active on social media. My most recent active activity was trying to get a little foster pup adopted. So I would recommend this lightheartedly is set up a animal only Instagram account. If you need like a break from the onslaught of tragic information that comes out every day.
Unbelievable.
Have your little like pet Instagram and go on there and just see fun videos of all the animals.
I love that. It's so awesome.
Smart.
Yeah.
Fosters doing amazing things. And that's just like all your feed is, and it's absolutely wonderful. You can kind of just take a break. So that's been a really nice
that's smart.
That is something that I have learned in the past year that I really
How
enjoy.
Cool.
Yeah. But I think other than that, I know it's really tough out there for everybody. So be kind to yourself. Stay informed, but take the break. Take your little Instagram puppy cat video breaks. But and then be kind to each other. I think that's what we really need.
Yes,
Courtney, I appreciated your story about talking to your husband about a difficult topic that he didn't get emotional. It's like that's something I struggle with.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
Yeah. And so I think that like being able to find those moments where we can talk to each other and be reasonable and have empathy.
Absolutely.
Like, if we can all just try to do that on a small scale, then it'll make a big difference. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No. Well, thank you for coming on today. Oh my God.
Coolest woman in the
Honestly, and thank you
world.
for sharing your story and sharing everything. It's awesome. It's awesome.
No, this is great. I love the I love what y'all are doing. I love listening to your podcast. I appreciate the honesty and the honest conversations. It's just nice. It's just nice to talk about stuff.
Right?
So thank you. Yeah,
we've all got stuff. And yes,
do.
thank you to all of our listeners. Please write into us. Let us know if you want to talk to us, if you want to reach out to Sarah Beth, we can get in contact with her. Our email is thatwasn'ttheplan@gmail.com. You can always reach us through our website at thatwasn'ttheplan.com, or you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. That Wasn't the Plan podcast. Just look out for us. Sarah Beth, Courtney, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Emily. Thanks, Sarah Beth. What a nice time.
Until we talk to you again. Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. Bye.